Hey guys, this is Pearlmam. I make amateurs out of noobs, and today I'm in my Leopard prototype in Halluf. So the Leopard prototype is German Tier 9 medium, and right now it's stock for me, and so this tank kind of sucks stock. I really don't like it. It doesn't have good mobility. The traverse speed is slow. It doesn't have good armor. Everything can pen it. And the gun is relatively weak. It's the same gun from the Indian Panzer, the Tier 8, 212 penetration with 240 damage. And this isn't really adequate for Tier 9, Tier 10 matches. But I think with all the upgrades, it would be definitely a better tank. And so I'm not going to give my judgment on that just yet. I got to wait for the upgrades. So here I am in Halluf, and I have an okay match, but I do a few things really well. I take advantage of a tracked tank, and so this game is all about opportunities. So this tracked tank, and I take advantage of that tracked tank, and we finish them off. And another thing I do is I take advantage of an opportunity where my team starts to push prematurely, maybe, in my opinion, but since they're pushing, I have to push with them in order to have them survive and for them not to die. And so Halluf is a pretty good map. Generally, the heavies come over here because there's corridors, and basically you only have shots at frontal armor, so a heavy can block all that damage and dish the damage. And then the mediums, generally as a medium, I go down in here in this valley to spot, and usually there's TDs up here, but in this game we do not have TDs, which is really a shame because, and I'll show you where this TD, a TD up here would really have helped. I mean, it would have just made this push that much easier. So I catch a guy, a lure. Generally, a lot of times they do push into that corner. It's a really good corner to push into. You're safe and you're dangerous over there, because I have to worry about him popping around this corner. Not only do I have to worry about him, but he has a clear shot at me here, so I got to worry. And then of course I got to worry about TDs. So he pops out. Side armor pop out. Never do that if you're a heavy, if you're him. So I dish damage, and he misses because I'm not showing much of my armor. So I'm going to pause real quick. So generally, the TDs usually hang out up here, and then there's a medium up there kind of sniping. So you kind of have to hang back behind this hill and be careful from him sniping. He might even come down here, but relatively, that's actually really dangerous right here because there should be TDs up here. And so they have to worry about these TDs. But we don't have TDs up there. So it's just us. It's us three and this heavy that's, I don't know what he's doing. So I see that IS-8 kind of coming in, and I try to take a well-aimed shot, but I don't. And so he's out of the way, but he gets tracked. You see that? And now I notice that he's tracked, and this is a really good time for me to take this opportunity. He has no shot right there. You can see his gun. If he was aiming at me, he couldn't shoot me. And I have a shot at a really weak part of his armor, and I can keep him tracked from this angle. So I decide just to dish damage. Now, of course, I have to worry about this guy and this guy up here. So I push out. I'm kind of safe, but I definitely, regardless, I need to push out there and try to take him out because we're in a disadvantage right now. Make sure I finish him off. That IS-8 probably has a shot at me, and he does damage to me, but I think it's worth it because I'm tracking him and dishing damage to that guy. So we finished the tank. It was a good time to exchange damage there, I think. So right now I'm looking at my the side here. I see everybody's pretty much spotted except this guy and the Arty. So, and if you look on the mini-map, everybody's I'm gonna pause it. Everybody's located over here, and there's only a few guys here. So the middle's somewhat open, and so I start to think about pushing up the middle here. Because, you know, it's going to be hard for me to pen that IS-8 without him damaging me at this moment. So I start to decide to turn around. So I start to do that, but then I realize this T-59 starts to push along with this heavy. So it's kind of like, well, they're both pushing right now. They're going to die. So I have to go and help. Now you can see that this, he had almost full health and he's already almost dead. So this lower is an autoloader, so he probably did a lot of damage to him. And so I'm assuming that the lower is almost out of ammo. So this Type 59 starts to take him out, and I assume that he doesn't have ammo. So he's the least threatening at the moment, in my opinion. I assume that he's almost out of ammo. So I need to take out this IS-8. That's kind of my opinion on the matter. And then I also have to worry about him. So I think this isn't really the best thing to do, because I just let that object do damage to me. I stopped there to dish damage to him in the open. I don't know. I think what I probably should have done is probably have just pushed up to here without stopping and just snapshotting that IS-8. But regardless, I survive, and we survive. If I wasn't there, that IS-8 would have destroyed that Type 59, and we would have been dead right there. So that was an opportunity for me to go out there and push. Although I didn't push great, but I was still just there. They were surprised, and it was chaos, and so I ended up surviving because of that. So I have trouble getting up that little hill there, and I pay for it. You got to go to the left of that little ramp there. So now I'm one shot, and I'm just trying to be careful. I just don't want to die. I'm better off being alive than to try to like risk giving damage right now. And that Type 59 has a little bit more of an HP pool and better armor, turret armor, and so he bounces a shot. So I'm kind of scared. I don't know what that medium's going to do. If he pops out again, I'm dead. So I kind of just hang there. I hope that he wants to pop out again, but he ends up not popping out. And the Type 59 starts to push up the hill to the right here, which is a good job. And then the Comet's coming up here. So I decide to push with the Comet, and then I catch this guy. But my tanks, it's not worthwhile to take that shot. So, and the game's pretty much over. So the mediums I was with finish everything off. They do pretty well, and the game's over. So the sum up of the score is here, El Halluf, and here I am. I did 1,700 damage, 2 kills, 758 experience. Not a huge game. However, I did allow our push over there to go forward. That Type 59 did well, and that was because of me. He would be dead if I wasn't there with him. And also this VK, I forget which one it was, but he just came out there and died. But he took a lot of shots. He has such a good HP pool that he just absorbed a lot of damage. Not absorb, but he just took it. But anyway, that's kind of like it's a good example of when to take opportunities and to watch your players. Don't just leave your players to die. It was risky in my opinion. I probably wouldn't have done that. But since they did do it, I had to go with them. I had no choice at that point. I had to go and push, because if I didn't, I'd be alone and I would be dead anyway. And since I did, it worked out in the end. So I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks. Bye.